Dear students, let us start the discussion on today's newspaper, that is 23rd September 2017. The first article, Stride in Pakistan presses for UN envoy on Kashmir. You know, Pakistan is always trying to internationalize the Kashmir issue for the reason that it believes it has a strategic advantage by involving the international community. As per the Shimla agreement, the matters need to be solved only through the bilateral dialogue. So here Pakistan accuses India of human rights violations in Kashmir, and India also has given a befitting reply to it. And then Arunachal CM among the disqualified directors. So the Ministry of Commerce has released the shell companies and list of its directors, and there are also celebrities, chief ministers among them. So the Prem Kandu of Arunachal Pradesh is also a part of it. So let's talk about the editorial page. The first article, that is question of numbers. It is about ongoing controversy in Tamil Nadu. You know that Tamil Nadu, Palaniswamy is the chief minister and he belongs to AIADMK party. And there is a split faction of AIADMK headed by Mr. Dinakaran, which has the support of 18 MLAs. If these 18 MLAs withdraw their support to Mr. Palaniswamy government, it loses the majority on the floor of the house. So now, these 18 MLAs of Dinakaran faction, I'm saying D faction, they went to governor and submitted a memorandum to the governor saying that they do not have the confidence on their government. So, is governor is obliged to call for a floor test or not in this scenario is the first question. And the second question is, does these 18 MLAs, can they be disqualified? So the third question is, what the role opposition is expected to play in these circumstances? Can it bring in no confidence motion on the floor of the house? Yes, these are the three things we need to analyze. Coming to the role of the governor, governor did not call for a floor test. Both the Dinakaran faction of AIADMK and DMK are expecting the governor to call for a floor test. Now, if you take the Supreme Court judgment, governor is not to be concerned about internal politics of a political party. Only when the faction which is supposed to dissociate is more than 2/3 in size, then only he shall initiate the constitutional process. On the other hand, if the opposition, it brings in a no confidence motion, and if it is passed by the house, then governor can set the constitutional order into motion. So this is what is the thing given by the Supreme Court. So here, as it is 18 members, they do not constitute the 2/3 of the faction. And the second is, opposition is not asking for or not calling for a no confidence motion. So that's why governor not calling for a floor test is not a constitutional question over here. The second aspect is, as per the anti-defection law, speaker can only disqualify under two grounds. When the member resigns to the party or votes against to the whip of the political party. But here the members did not do either of these things. They just gave the memorandum to the governor. Can it be considered as a defection? Now today a pattern is growing. A set of people, dissidents of a party, MLAs, dissident MLAs of a party, then the speaker's office is used under anti-defection law to disqualify them. So here, most of the cases, the powers of the office of the speaker are being misused. So anti-defection law, under this, the powers which were given to the speaker's office shall be transferred from there and has to be submitted to the Election Commission of India. That is what we need to understand. And the third thing is, can the courts order for floor test? And there are incidents where the courts have ordered for the floor test, but it has been many a times considered as unnecessary interference of the courts in the legislative process. Now the next, from ocean to ozone, the limits of our planet. Here there is a word ecological footprint. Now it means how much of various gases, greenhouse gases or harmful gases, which are being released by me into Earth's environment. That's what is called as my ecological footprint. If I am using a big car, my footprint is high. On the other hand, if I am using a bicycle, my ecological footprint is less. And on the other hand, the earth also has a regenerative capacity. Now, if the pollutants which are been coming into the atmosphere are many a times higher than the regenerative capacity of our environment, then it leads to many changes. Either disturbances in climate, the climate change, ocean acidification, reversals in nitrogen phosphorus cycles, all these are. And most of these changes which occur, they are non-linear after a threshold. It means if they cross certain threshold limit, even if you decrease them, the changes are going to be permanent and non-reversible. Now, with regard to climate change, we say 2 degrees C temperature rise. Beyond that, it cannot be reversed. That is what is the second thing. That's why action has to be taken before it becomes non-reversible. And all these phenomena, climate change, ocean acidification, all these phenomena are interconnected. So that's why a holistic approach, systems approach is necessary to take this forward. And the next article is about tax trauma. It is about GST. Though GST is introduced from July 1st, it is a suboptimal infrastructure that is creating these many problems. The GST network, which is supposed to hold millions and millions of invoices, it is not completely ready. And there is the input credit. Let's take this way. Now, if I am buying something, I shall be able to take this as an input credit for the things which I am selling. So here, if input credit is not given on time, my money is stuck with the government. So, as months and months is getting delayed, my capital to the tune of 65,000 crore rupees, that means the business people's capital, it is stuck in the government. That is what is the second thing. And during the transition phase, for the stocks which the people hold, as a traded I have certain stocks which I bought at the VAT rates. So how I shall claim the input tax for that is also a question. The government not giving clarity on these matters makes this reform a traumatic exercise. The next is hopes and fears. It is about the reform of constitution in Sri Lanka. An interim report is submitted by the steering committee. The important findings is it admits that Sri Lanka is an indivisible country, an indivisible, united, undivided in the future. So, the executive presidency which is existing and which is stated to be a reason for divisive forces or strengthening the divisive tactics in the country need to be done away with. That is the first proposal. So, it means it is looking more from transforming itself from an executive presidency to a parliamentary system or semi-parliamentary system. And second is, the word federal and unitary have become very controversial in Sri Lanka. So Sinhalese, they oppose any word federalism, and Tamils, they oppose anything unitary. So the constitution did not use either word federalism or unitary, and it has stated clearly that there will be division of power between different groups. And in this process, a second house will be created in the parliament, which is reflective or representative of the provinces and their interests. And the election system is going to be changed from proportional system to a mixed system. A mixed system of proportional representation and first past the post system. And to also provide for the majority's views, accommodate their views, the Buddhist special place in Sri Lankan history will continue. So, the recommendations of this are accepted by Tamil National Alliance. This is the right phase in the reconciliation in Sri Lankan politics. That's how we can say it as. Now, let's get into the Hasina floats a 5-point peace plan at UN General Assembly. Now, just now I watched a video of Sheikh Hasina on Al Jazeera. What she says that we are 16 million people, 16 crore population, and few more people gets added up to our small island. It doesn't make a big problem to us. We can share our food with them. The question asked to her by Al Jazeera TV, it is about why she did not bring Rohingya issue with Donald Trump at UN General Assembly. She said that when he is not even interested to listen, there is no point in raising that. So, but however, her UN General Assembly speech, it clearly talks about this way. The first is, the Myanmar has to take them back, and Kofi Annan report has to be implemented. Then the Rohingyas have to be recognized as the citizens of that particular country. It has to stop all kind of cleansing activities from the Rakhine state. So these are the various 5 points put forward by the Sheikh Hasina. So Sushma Swaraj raises H-1B issues in United States of America. It was expected that when Prime Minister Modi visited US, he will be raising them. But however, it was postponed then. Now it is the Sushma Swaraj who has raised that. Now, how two madmen fight with each other? How it looks. That is how Trump and Kim Jong-un's fight is looking like. The war of words between them. A fat kid, a mad old man. This is what is the language. So when two madmen fight with each other, it may appear funny, but when they are most powerful in the world, it is no more funny. That makes the world to the brink of a nuclear war. So that's what we have to see here. We have the notes at likes.in/civils prep. Thank you very much and all the best.